Next up we have Tom Cunningham. Tom is senior designer and my colleague at Each Another. And he is an absolute boss at visual design. If I hand him over something that I don't think looks quite right, he looks at it for a couple of minutes and is able to just make it look amazing. So I've seen him prepare his talk. I've seen this talk a few times and it is absolutely whopper. You're in for a treat. Tom's talk is called Pioneers and Settlers, the Digital Land Grab. So welcome, Tom.
Thanks very much, Laura. No pressure there at all. Former colleague here too. Hit it away there, Philippe. Okay. Predicting the future is really difficult. We'd like to think that we know what's coming next, but most of the time we're just looking at the industry and making educated guesses. When it comes to our own careers, there's not always a clear path to how we got to where we are now and where we're going next. I think that most of us would like to think of ourselves as this guy here, pioneer, trailblazing your way through uncharted territory and leading the way for others to follow. The thing about pioneers, though, is they've got itchy feet and a wandering eye. And that wanderlust is something that's kind of symptomatic within the industry. So you've got designers and engineers often moving from agency to agency and from product to product, sometimes only staying in their roles for, 6 months to a year. And at the same time now, the world of business has started to understand that good design can have a transformative impact on their business. So they're looking at the world of design, they're looking at back to history, and they're like, okay, the gold rush is on, we need UX designers, we need to build teams, we need to grow this product or this service. But there's a bit of a tension here, because on one hand, you've got the businesses who need to grow the teams, and on the other hand, you've got the pioneers who are looking to the next settlements that they want to move on to. And so even within our own industry, you'd see the same designers and engineers, these pioneers, moving through different products. So you got, even within Dublin, you got the guys going from gambling products into airline products, into fintech products, and into messenger apps. That's where everyone needs to go, yeah? And what are they looking for? Well, they're looking for something that they consider to be success. And what is success? Well, it's different things for different people. One thing I found with working with designers, though, is the kind of materialistic things doesn't quite cut it. They're looking for something that's more elusive, something that's less tangible. They're looking for the holy grail of meaningful work. And if we look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, our needs have changed. So we don't need to worry about the bottom two tiers there. We're in good industry, right? But you're looking at the top three tiers here: belonging, esteem, self-actualization. Especially with esteem, that's something that's very important to designers. So you've got internal esteem and external esteem. Internal esteem is the warm, fuzzy feeling you get, rewarding feeling you get for doing good work. External esteem is the esteem that you get from working with colleagues or from standing up here on stages like this and presenting to my peers. That's why we're all doing it, really, isn't it? At the top of the pyramid, you've got self-actualization. Now, this is, for many, is unattainable. So this is like being the best that you could possibly be. And we should all be trying to do this, right? So what does all this mean? Well, it means that we, as designers, we want to be innovative. We want to do things that are new. We want to do things that are interesting. Most organizations are not set up for innovation. Maybe that's the lack of clear strategy, it's a lack of infrastructure within their team to complete goals, or quite often in large organizations, just the communication overhead is just way too high for designers. It's just ridiculous. Can't get work done. I don't need to have a meeting about the next meeting. So team growth is stifled. Now, at the same time, the industry now is needing to beef up its UX design team. So there's a lot of junior designers coming in there. That's great. They're the future of the industry. What's the solution? Well, the solution is focus on your culture, okay? You should have a culture, aim to have a culture where it empowers your team to do the best work that they can do. So if they're junior designers or senior designers, they can come in and they can make a difference. If you've got junior designers, they shouldn't be in there doing the lackey work. You should treat them like an apprenticeship, okay? So you pair them up with someone who's senior and put them together, mentorship, apprenticeship, give them ownership on the products that they're doing, and you'll reap the rewards for it. And the culture of autonomy and ownership, it's important that your teams have the power to work within design frameworks and do the projects that they need to do, but also are able to break those frameworks when they feel that it's fit, and ownership on the projects that they do. I probably should have picked a different image for this. And what's the result? You grow together. Forget what happens next after this. So you've got junior designers learning from senior designers. Senior designers are becoming mentors, and they're learning from the junior designers. And if you've got a culture that allows that, you get people like this that can handle obstacles when they present themselves. And if they can't, well, then you've got someone on their team with the answer to help them out. So what does this mean? Well, if you have a team that feels empowered to drive your strategy forward, you're doing the right thing, okay? Your strategy should not be something that you present every 6 months or whenever you have a staff update. This is something that every member of your team should be able to take their own initiatives and drive it forward. And if they do that, and if you have a culture that you can do that in, you can achieve this, which is the place where people come to do meaningful work, a place where the passionate have a voice. And if you achieve that, and people feel satisfied with their work, they won't hop to all the different settlements. And even the smallest settlements that starts off embryonic can grow and prosper to be the shining light in the new world of design. Thank you very much.